Hello and welcome back to another video from Jerba Campervans. Now today we've got an extra special video for you. It's one I think you'll be really excited about. We've got a Volkswagen California down into our workshop, and what we're going to do is we're going to go through all of the key differences between the California and our Jerba Campervans. Give you a little look at what the options are, what comes with the Cali, what comes with the Jerba, and yeah, I think you'll find this one really informative. We'll keep this one factual. Obviously we are Jerba, we're comparing our products against Volkswagens, so the best I can do to keep it fair is just to be factual and just show you the differences. But yeah, I think you'll find this one really interesting. So let's jump into the California and have a little look about. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the actual base van itself, the base vehicle, and the options between the Cali and the Jerba conversions can be quite different. So we're going to jump into this Jerba Tiree right now and I'll take you through all of those key differences. So the California comes in 4 versions and it's really split into 2 groups. Now the group that we'll look at is the one that we would consider a full conversion. So it's got cabinets up the side, pop-top roof, seat that turns into a bed. The other group, the other version of the California, doesn't have the cabinetry up the side, it's just a seat and a pop-top roof. So they call the vans in the group that we'll look at with the full cabinetry the Ocean and the Coast, and the difference between the two is that one has the electro-hydraulic roof and the other one has the manual roof, and there are different choices of furniture colour in the two as well. Now a few quick facts about the California: it only comes in a short wheelbase, it only comes with a front elevation roof, it only comes in one layout of furniture, it only comes with an automatic gearbox, it only has 2 engine size options, the 150 brake horsepower and the 204 brake horsepower, and the side sliding door on the California only comes on the right hand side of the van, so the driver's side of the van. And if you're in the UK, we would consider that the opposite side or the wrong side, and that's because if you pull up to a curb in the UK, because we drive on the left hand side of the road, and you open the sliding door on the right hand side of the van, you're walking out onto the road, and that's not great if you've got dogs, kids, that sort of thing. And the reason for that is because the UK isn't the biggest market for the California, so they focus all their manufacturing for the biggest marketplace. A few facts about Jerba now. So Jerba, we have 4 camper van layouts. We can do a short wheelbase, we can do a long wheelbase, we can do a front elevation pop top, we can do a rear elevation pop top, and we can also do a long wheelbase high top and a short wheelbase high top. So we can really do the entire range of camper possibilities in the Volkswagen Transporter van. At Jerba, you can also have either an automatic gearbox or a manual gearbox, whichever suits your needs best. And we can also offer you the full range of engine options that's available from Volkswagen. So starting from the 110 brake horsepower all the way up to the 204 brake horsepower. And we can even offer our conversions in a 4-wheel drive van, so the 4Motion Transporter. Jerba and Volkswagen both have the same paint colours, so we spec our vans from new with Volkswagen and we can have all of the same paint colours. Now California offer the 2-tone paint colour, and that again is something that we can do for you here at Jerba. Now in terms of leather, the California has 2 leather options, and all of our conversions come with over 20 leather options, so there's a much greater range of leather options from Jerba. Now actual base vehicle options, things like air conditioning, cruise control, highline pack, alloy wheels, all of those options are available to us at Jerba on all of the vans. So the California really comes in what's almost like a package. So you buy the California and it is how it comes, and you've got a very limited amount of options that you can add to the California. Now it is quite a high spec as standard, so it will have things like cruise control, and it does have a upgraded California dash which has the digital display. Now at Jerba, on the base van, when we order it, you have the full range of options available from Volkswagen, and you can have less than, the same as, or even greater than the California's optional extras. And now this gives you a greater range of price to choose from. Now you could spec your Jerba van with a manual gearbox and a 110 brake horsepower, and straight away that's going to be quite a bit less expensive than, say, the 150 DSG California, which is the standard that they can offer. So there's a much greater flexibility with the price there. So not only with Jerba do you have that bespoke element where you can really make your van your own, but you also have the ability to look at your budget and really maximize what you're going to get for your budget. So now let's jump into California and let's really dig into the camper van conversion side of things and go through all the things like the tables, all of the options, the finishes, the seat, the bed, and give you a factual tour of all these camper van conversion options. Now, as standard in the conversion, both the Jerba and the California come with front swiveling seats. They also come with 3 batteries, and what I mean by that is 1 vehicle battery and 2 leisure batteries to power your camper van. So we really give you the ability to spec a van to your needs and to your budget. Now, the California comes as standard with seating for 4 people, as does our Tiree. The California can be upgraded to have an additional seat in the rails, making it a 5-person vehicle, as can our Tiree. We can have a 3-seater in the back with 3 seat belts, making it a total of 5. Both campervan conversions come with water tanks. We have a 38-litre underslung water tank as standard in our campervans, and the California has a 30-litre internal water tank. We do give you the option of an internal water tank if you would prefer it, but there are way more benefits to having an external water tank. It gives you all that additional cupboard space inside, and it's just quite nice to have it stored underneath the vehicle, away, out of sight, out of mind. Volkswagen will give you a 3-year warranty on the van and the conversion when you purchase a California, as will we here at Jerba. We give you a 3-year warranty both on the van and on our conversion, so you're covered in terms of warranty, exactly the same for both conversions. So Volkswagen have the Ocean and the Coast, which are the same thing but different roofs. One's electric, one's manual. They're both short wheelbase and they both pop up at the front. But with Jerba we have 4 different layouts. So we've got our Tiree, which is a short wheelbase, similar layout to this one. Then we've got a Cromarty, which is a long wheelbase, similar layout to this one. It's this, but an extra 400 millimeters. It makes the van a lot more spacious. We also have our Sanna, which has the kitchen at the back and the roof pops up at the back. And that one has a fixed toilet, which we'll get into later on. And it's a totally different layout to the one that we're in just now. And then we also have our options of high tops, and you can have the Dura, which is the Sanna layout in a high top, or you can have the Tiree Cromarty layouts like this one, but also in a fixed high top too. So there's a lot more flexibility, and you can really choose the van conversion that makes the most sense for you and your needs. Let's jump in and do some comparisons. So the first thing we'll look at is storage. So the California storage in the front section basically consists of this large cabinet here, and the way it works, you've got these sliding doors, so you slide it back, and you've got storage space in here and in here, and then you've also got this tray for your cutlery. And the same again on the, okay, so make sure you don't do what I just did there and slide the wrong one over. So, yep, slide that. And on the left-hand side, we basically got the exact same thing. We've got double height shelf here, nice bit of storage space to store all of your cooking utensils. Now, the waste tank in the California is located at the back of the cupboard here. You can see you've got an access point through the bottom on the other side. Now, you also have the under seat storage in the front of the California. So there's a little clip here and a drawer that rolls out. And you've got a little bit of storage just in there where you can store things like your hookup cable, or we've got fly screens in here, that kind of thing. And that just slots back in that way. In the back of the California, you've basically got all the space underneath the back section of the bed here. And you've got everything on top of this sort of parcel shelf at the top too. Now, the California does come with this optional mattress topper because the actual foam on the bed itself is quite thin, so that does take up a little bit of space, but it's necessary for a comfy bed. Now, you also have this wardrobe locker in the back here, and you can access it this way. So it pulls out and you've got shelves in here which are removable, that do fall a bit. And the same again, you've got a sliding door here, so you can access that back locker if you're in bed, that sort of thing. And that just clips away. And then same again, you have access from the front, so you can slide it back at the front and access some more of that wardrobe space from there. You also have this little access here, which has a neat little mirror on it, and that gives you access into that space in the wardrobe there too. So that slides that way, clips back in. Final place in the California is the overhead locker at the back. and it does pull down just like so. Gives you access to put, you know, books or maybe a pillow or something up in there, and that folds up and away above the seats. So we're going to go through all the camper van conversions that we offer here at Jerba, but we'll start on our Jerba Tiree, and that is our like for like with the California. So it's a short wheelbase van, it's kitchen in the front, it's got a front elevation roof, it's got seating in the back, 2 front seats spin around. So it's the conversion that we offer here that is the most similar to the California, and we'll show you some of the key differences. So straight away you'll see the key differences in this one. The furniture runs all the way along. We've got all the top lockers at the top here. So we've got storage up the top, and we're going to do a really in-depth tour when we get to the Cromarty, just so I'm not doubling up information. But we'll see again that we've opted here to have this big opening fridge with a freezer box on the top, which is fantastic for, you know, wine bottles, milk. You can get loads of food in there, and it's a really, really great fridge. And now this van has been spec'd by the customer, and they've chosen driftwood as their finish. They've also chosen this nice Puntanella top, so a nice grey top, but they could have chosen from any of the options here at Jerba. So we have got multiple different colours of furniture finishes. We've got wood effects, we've got these greys, we've got a steel blue, so there are options available. Now they've spec'd this one with a Wallace hob, which is a Wallace diesel hot plate and night heater, so it's going to keep your van nice and warm through the night. Or you can change the function by button on the front here with the control panel, and it turns into a fantastic diesel hot plate. It's got hot side, cold side, and you've got this 0 to 6 control on the front, so you've got loads of control over the heat. If you did want gas, we can offer you gas, we can offer you different versions of the diesel hob. There's a whole host of options out there that you can look at, but again, it's just making a point of that bespoke element of building a camper van with Jerba. Now as we go through, you'll see that we've got the bulk of our side storage just here, so a nice deep trunk which goes all the way back, and again there's a second level. And we've got access up on top here underneath the sink, so you've got loads of room in there. We've got a cutlery tray in here, but plenty of space. And we've got all the storage underneath the rib seat too, so you can slide your porta potty in there, or we can get the full length of the van if we've got things like skis, because there's a door at the back of this. And if you've got really large items, if you've got a couple of duvets or a big duvet, you can just pop the front over on the seat, and you've got access to all the storage space in there. And as I look about this camper van, I can see loads of those little bespoke additional extras that the customer spec'd. So we've got things like speakers in the rear, and we've also got these two 230 volt sockets just right there, and they're really good because they are a point of electricity. If you are hooked up on the campsite and you've got your awning out, you've got access right there to plug things in outside the van. So really, really handy little additional extras that we can offer you here at Jerba. And to a certain extent, if there's something that you really want and we can do it, we will try and incorporate it into your design. But moving backwards, we've got all the electrical controls on the back here, and we've also got this big double height trunk which has got loads of storage space all the way down into the very bottom of the camper van. It meets the floor. I talked about all the storage up on top, so we've got the top lockers as we call them, 3 of them in a short wheelbase, and they're just a bit higher than a can of beans, so there's loads of room in there for cutlery, for tins of food, for all sorts of stuff. And again, we've got storage at the back, so we've got this really nice little locker at the back that we keep the front curtain in, but there's loads of room in there for all sorts of stuff. So what I want to really do is show you the difference between all of these camper vans and give you a really deep and broad view of everything that's available here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to jump out of this one into our Cromarty, which is our long wheelbase. But it's going to give me the ability to give you a much more valuable insight into all the options, into all the cupboards, the storage, all these things. So what we'll do is we'll jump into the Cromarty now, and we'll get really deep into the nitty gritty and start looking at all these different elements of the camper van. Now, we are in the Jerba Cromarty now, which is kitchen in the front elevation camper van. We'll have a little look at the storage in the Cromarty now, and I'll give you a little bit of a like for like with the California. The first thing that you'll notice in this Jerba van is that we've got a large fridge where one of the sliding doors for the California cabinet would be. So we've utilised this space for a fridge. But just to the right of that, we've got this opening door which gives you this double height sort of cabinetry, which is very similar. And then above the fridge, we've got a fold down door, which gives you a little bit of space for your cooking utensils. Now this van has a diesel hob. If you didn't have a diesel hob, this could be made into a drawer, and on all the gas vans you do have a cutlery drawer which comes out just like so. Moving backwards, we've got another little fold down locker here which gives you really deep storage space in there, and the same again on the cabinet underneath. We open it up and we've got this double height storage just right there. Now in terms of seat storage, on the Jerba van you've got access to the front, and this is big enough for our porta potty which we slide into the front of the seat, and it can be stored underneath the seat. The unique thing about the rib seats that we use in Jerba vans is that you get all the storage space underneath the seat. So they open in a slightly different way. You pull the lever and you fold the top over onto the sleeping side, but it does mean that you have that large space inside here which is great for bedding. I'll see if I can pull you forward, and anything else that you could possibly want to store in there. We keep our porta potty in here, but it is a great space. In the California, the fridge is located here and you access it from the top, but because ours is on the front, it means that we get this double height trunk space in here, and it's hard to see on the camera, but this actually goes all the way down to the floor of the van, and it's a really, really big space. Loads of storage space. And that closes away. In the Jerba van, you also get these overhead lockers, which are really, really nice. The doors fold down, and they are just slightly higher than a tin of beans, and they're quite deep, so you've got loads of storage space up there for utensils or anything that you could ever imagine. And again at the back, we've got an overhead locker here with tons of storage space up there. We use it to store our front curtain, but you could store all sorts up in there. When we come around to the back of the camper van, things are much the same. So we've got all the storage space underneath here, and we've got access through into the storage space underneath the seat. And we've got parcel shelf idea, so you could put things on top if you want. We've also got access into the wardrobe on the right hand side here, which is neat. And one really useful feature of the rib seat, I'll just move this ladder for the roof bed, is that you can very simply pop it up and away, and then you get the full height in the back, which is great for golf clubs or any of those bigger items that you may struggle to get in your camper van. And if you want to, you can just pull it back down, and there you've got your parcel shelf again. Now, if you want a different layout from Jerba with even more space, then I would suggest looking at our Sanna camper van. It's got the kitchen in the back, we're in it just now, and that has all of these large cupboards and the cabinets. They all open up and they give you tons and tons of storage space. Same again on the bottom here. You know, you've got just tons of storage space. This is our rental van. So if you would like to try any of our vans, we do have a rental fleet, and we've got these huge big doors which open up and give you tons and tons of storage space in there. So it's really, this camper van's really been optimized for a large amount of storage space. Again, on this side we have the toilet, which folds away like so, and behind that we've got this large wardrobe, so we can swing the door open, and in there you've got the full height of the wardrobe. There's shelves in this one, and it does have our electrical control unit in it, but we can sort of reconfigure it if you would like a higher wardrobe for storing taller stuff. I'll just lock it away. In front of that we've got our fridge, and again storage beneath and above. And in here we've got a nice cutlery drawer, which is super handy. In the Sanna we do have the rib seats too, so these fold out into two singles, but in both singles you get access to all that space underneath. Because of the way the seat's designed, there's nothing obstructing you from going in there, so you can store all those larger items, you can store your bedding. It's actually really, really handy storage space. Now there is another key difference with all of the Californias, which can be a bit of a sticking point if you're in the UK, and that is that the sliding door is on what we would consider to be the wrong side. The sliding door on the California is on the opposite side from what it would be on any of the other vans that they make, and that's because the furniture that they make inside is made for their biggest market, which just so happens to not be the UK. So the furniture is on the opposite side of the van from what we would build here, and the sliding door is on the opposite side too. And what that means is if you pull up to the curb in your California and you've got someone in the back, you will be opening the sliding door out onto the road. Whereas if you imagine in any of the other Volkswagen vans, the sliding doors on the other side, so you open up onto the pavement side. So that's something to consider if you are looking at a California. So the next big consideration with camper vans is toilets, and can you get one in your camper van? Now the California does give you the option to take out this shelf, and they do have a little insert, and they've got a porta potty which will slide into this cupboard here. So this would essentially become your toilet. It is a portable toilet, so you take it out, you take it away with you, but this is where they would store that toilet in the Cali. If a fixed toilet is something that's important to you, we have our Jerba Sanna model, and that has a fixed toilet in the back here. So you basically open up the box that it's contained in, and you can spin the toilet out and around, and there you've got your fixed toilet. Now it does have a flush, and it also has this cassette in the back. So I'll just spin you down. So all you basically want to do with the cassette is just pull it out, and you can dispose of your waste that way. Very simple, very clean and efficient. Pop it back in when you're done and lock it away. Now I can hear you say, what about if you'd like some privacy on the loo? Well, we've got you covered there too. So this big wardrobe door actually folds out. It's a bifold door. And if you want to prevent people from peering over like I'm doing just now, all you've got to do is pull down the roof bed, and you've pretty much got your own little toilet cubicle in the back of the van there. So I'll pop this away, and I will fold in the bifold door. And I'll pop the toilet away. It's very simple. And now we can fit a fixed toilet in our Sanna and Tiree layouts, which are the kitchen in the rear, in a short wheelbase and a long wheelbase van. So you've got total flexibility in the length of your van if you desire a fixed toilet. Now, what about our Tiree and our Cromarty? Well, I'll show you. In our Tiree and our Cromarty, much like in the Volkswagen California, we supply you with a portable toilet just like so. And where we store ours, we've got the big door just in front of the rib there, and you can basically take it, slide it in, out of sight, and you've got your portable toilet hidden in under your rib seat just like so. If you need it out, you just pop open the door, pull your porta potty out, and there you've got your portable toilet. So what about the big important thing that will make or break your camper van experience? The seat and the bed. Well, in the California, the seat is a two-seater in the back with two seat belts as standard. It can't be changed, that's how it comes. And it is a rock and roll style bed. So I'll pull it out for you now. First thing you need to do is pull the lever, and you need to slide the bed forward on the rails, just like so. All the way forward actually, I'm just remembering how you do this. And then the next thing you need to do is push these headrests down and away, like so. And then you've got another little clip here which you pull, and it pushes the bed down and in like so. And then once again you push this part of the bed, clip it down properly. And again you've got the lever which you pull, and you can slide the bed back, and there you've got your bed. And now Volkswagen also have the optional extra of this Volkswagen topper, which makes it a little bit flatter, but it gives you a nice comfortable bed that way. And there you've got a pretty good comfortable bed. Now this bed is about 6 foot 3 inches long and 112 centimeters wide, so 112. So it's a good sized bed. It'll keep you nice and comfortable. And the back part on this bed also has a clip which you can pull, and you can change the position just like so. Make sure you clip it in properly. And the back part you can angle up so you can sit up and read a book at night, that sort of thing. And I'll just clip it back in. And to put it away, I just believe it's the exact same but in reverse. You need to pull this lever, pull the bed away, pull this lever and pop the back up all the way up, clip it in, and then you've got another lever here which you can slide all the way back, and you need to pull it just forward a little bit, and there you've got your seating position. Now, because this is a rock and roll style bed, you sleep and you sit on the same side. So when you're sat driving, there's no contours on the seat to keep you nice and comfortable and keep you snug. It is just a flat bench style seat. You probably won't slide about too much, but it's not like one of the front seats where you've got those nice contours to keep you nice and comfortable. The Volkswagen seat is obviously on sliders too, so you can slide it forward if you want the front seat to be forward for any reason, or you can slide it back too. Now, because the seat in the California is further forward, it does mean that it can be a little lower to the ground. So you'll see when I'm in the rib seat, it does sit higher than the California seat, and having a lower seat has the added benefit of giving you a bit extra head height in the top. I'll pull down the roof bed and we'll have a look. So the roof bed in the California does sit quite low, so the seat has to be quite low, and you've probably got 2.5, 3 inches of headroom above you there, so nice comfortable seating position. Now, I'm in the back of our Jerba Cromarty here, and I'm going to give you a tour of the rib seats that we use on all our camper vans. And the first thing that's worth noting is that because we do bespoke builds here, it means that we've got a range of beds to choose from. So this is a 112 wide seat, the same width as the one that's in the California, but we do have the option to take this wider to a 120 centimetre seat, and even wider again to a 129 centimetre wide seat. So if you want an extra wide bed, this is the way to go. Now, the 112 and the 120 come with 2 seat belts, seating for 2. If you'd like seating for 3 in the back, the 129 has 3 seat belts, making the car as standard a 5-seater. And I said before, you can see that the rib seat sits higher because it has to go over the wheel arch, because we fit them further back, giving you more room in the front of the camper van to move around. And again, because we have that bespoke element, you can trim the rib seats to any of the options that are available. So we can have the Volkswagen trims, or we can go for a nice leather trim like this one. We've got the diamond stitching in the seats here. Total variety of colours and trims to choose from. You can really mix and match to make your van your own. But I'll pull the rib bed out and I'll give you a little look at how it works as a bed. So the first thing you'll do is pull the lever and fold over the base like so. It's really quite simple. And then there's a second lever inside here. You pull it, and there you have that perfectly flat side on the underside of the seat. So you've got a nice flat, comfortable side to sleep on. I showed you in the California that you sleep and you sit on the same side. With the rib, you sleep on this nice, comfortable flat side. And then if you're in the driving position, you have this nice contoured seat, which will keep you nice and snug and keep you secure as you're driving along. Now the rib also has the option to adjust the back, like so. So you can put the rib to any angle and you can sit up, read your book at night time. We've got some nice lights here, keep it nice and comfortable for you. So all that's available. And to put it away, all you got to do is lift the center piece like so. And fold over the base and sit back down onto this nice contoured seating side. Seatbelt on and we're ready to go. Just while we're talking about seating, if you are to have your rib seat trimmed in leather, we would also trim the front seats in leather so all your seats are matching. This is just a prime example of what that looks like, and it looks really good. So the next thing we'll talk about is the pop-top roofs. Now in this one, the California Ocean, it comes with Volkswagen's own pop-top, which is fully electric. It's hydroelectric, and it's controlled through this little controller right here. So Volkswagen also have in their Coast version of this a manual pop-top, which is just like the Jerba one. You pull it up and down by hand, but there are some benefits to having an automatic pop-top. Obviously, if you're older and you struggle to pull the weight of the roof down, it's just as simple as pressing a button and it does it for you automatically. It does work really, really well, but the common fear is that if it breaks, it is very, very expensive to fix. And historically, we've seen this on other vans, bongos, that kind of thing. So there are pros and there are cons to both types of roofs. Now the canvas in the Volkswagen roof feels really nice. It feels quite robust, and it's got a fly mesh on the front and on the sides. So you can open up the front window to let some air in and some light in. Now this isn't a very fine mesh, so it's not a midge mesh. It will let midges in. And we can see that just in the corners where some midges have come into the mesh vents in this van. But I'll zip that back up. It's also what's known as a scenic canvas, so the whole front does unzip and we can gain access to the outside. Now it's quite hard to do it. You need to be very tall, but there you have got a scenic canvas. Another really good feature on this roof is that when you pull the roof bed down, it does have this tambour door. You need to get it in the track, but it does pull off and hide all of the canvas material away in the roof of your van. So that's quite neat. Now the roof bed itself has a very unique new system that Volkswagen use, and it's basically these square pads that move and squish, and it's supposed to be really comfortable. It feels comfortable when you lie up there. Haven't had a night's sleep in it, so I don't know for certain. And it also has a nice thick mattress on top of that too, so it does seem like a very comfortable roof bed. And you just push it up and out of the way when you'd like to walk around in your van. From the outside we can see the electro-hydraulic sort of rams, and we can also see the hinges at the back. Now one thing I have noticed is that this canvas is only, you know, a few months old, and it's already starting to catch in the hinges when the roof's coming down, so there are some repairs on the canvas. So I do think Volkswagen could adopt something that we've done here and put a tensioning strap across the back of the canvas to pull it in as you pull the roof down. And of course with the California, you've only got the option of a pop top roof that pops up at the front in a short wheelbase, so there is no scope to have a fixed high top on your van or to have a rear elevating roof if that's something that you would like. Now the Jerba roof is a manual roof, and you pull it up and down with the handles just on the top above me here. And it is really quite simple to do. So all you need to do is get your hands on the handles, and if you let your knees go, your body weight pulls the roof down for you. So it's not as difficult as you might think to pull a roof down in a camper van. And it's certainly a lot quicker than the electric roof. And in the opposite way, if you want to push your roof up, you've got gas rams on this roof which take the weight and lift the roof for you. So it is actually quite simple, and I'll just demonstrate that now. We'll pull our roof bed down, I'll reach up, grab the books, buckle my knees, and you'll just see I can just sit down, pull the roof down, and I would tidy the canvas away usually, but if I want to push the roof away, I just push it up, and it gets to a point where the gas struts just take it away itself. And same again for the roof bed, just like so. So it's actually quite simple to use. Now we use a Ventile cotton for our canvas, and Ventile is a material that NATO use on their tents because it's very breathable, waterproof, and it's a really thick, robust material, so it's going to stand the test of time. A unique feature for our canvas is that it's the only canvas on the market that is fully unzippable all the way around. So say you are to damage your canvas, you can unzip it, you can unthread it, and we'll send you a new one in the post. You can pop your new one in at home with the help of a friend, zip it back up, and you're good to go again. So it's nice and simple, very easy to repair. And also, because we're from Scotland, we know just how annoying those midges can be. So all the mesh on our canvas is a very fine midge mesh. It means that none of those creepy crawlies can get into your van and bother you when you're in the Highlands out exploring in your camper van. And on the front of ours, instead of a midge mesh, we've gone for a big clear window, just to let loads of light in, just so you can get a nice view out over the mountains. Because we have the unzipping element of our canvas, you can unzip it all the way around, and we've got these pull togs. So again, you can create what we would call a scenic canvas. And with the strings, they just sit on top, so you can hide them away, and you've got full scenic canvas, so you can look out over the elements and let in all that fresh air. Now in all the Jerba conversions, we also have the beech slatted roof bed that we make ourselves. You'll see it here, and these beech slats are quite typical to what you'd see in a bed at home. They're really, really comfortable, and on top of that we've got a nice thick foam mattress too, which just brings this all together and makes it a really, really comfortable roof bed. Now, one thing that is unique to the Jerba roof bed is a ladder to get up into it. So you do have the option with our roof beds to fit the brackets for one of these removable ladders, and they're really simple. They just clip into the brackets, and just like so, you've got a nice little ladder into your roof bed, so you can climb on up, get into bed for the night, or send the kids up there, and they've got a nice little ladder to get up and down. It means that they don't have to climb up on your brand new leather seats, and they can keep everything nice and neat and clean. So I'll just push the roof bed away. Now this is our front elevation long wheelbase roof, but we do also do the short wheelbase, and we do also do the rear elevation for our Sanna layout. So we'll just have a little look in that one next. So you can see on our Sanna here, we've got this one rear elevation, so it's popping up at the back, which is super handy. And it's also great if you've got your own van conversion that you've planned yourself and you just want us to fit a roof on. You might have a unique design with the seating area, kitchen in the back, however it is, and this might fit your design perfectly. You can see why this works, because I'm now in the back of this Jerba Sanna, and I've got my sink here, and I've got my diesel hob here, so I can open it up and I can start doing my cooking, and I've got all that headspace because the roof pops up at the back, so I can move around, I can navigate the toilet, I can have a look in the sink, I can go over here and I can do my cooking, and I've got plenty of worktop space to do my chopping and do my preparing. So there's loads of space here, and then when I go through to the front, it's still got quite a lot of headroom in the front there, more than enough, but I'm probably going to be seated at the table eating my dinner, having a conversation with friends, so it does work really, really well. And historically, motorhomes have always favoured high roofs. A lot of the bigger stuff has high roofs, and there's no reason why the Volkswagen vans can't have the high roofs too. So we will take a factory-made high roof and a long wheelbase and make our Jura conversion, but we can also fit an aftermarket high roof on any short wheelbase, like you see here, and create our sort of high-top Taranze or high-top Tiree layout. So it is an option, and it is a really good one. Now, you may just be able to see on the front of our Sanna here, we've actually got a solar panel too. And on the California, you cannot spec it with a solar panel, so there is no solar panel from Volkswagen for it. We can spec your van with a 100 or 200 watt solar panel setup, and they're a nice sleek design. They fit onto our roofs perfectly. On a sunny day, you'll get a nice amperage, charging up your batteries enough to do something like power your fridge, so you can always be guaranteed that you're going to have some power, and it's a really, really nice little additional extra to have. The next thing we'll look at are the tables, and both the Jerba conversion and the California come with two tables, and one of the California tables is actually a really clever design, and it can only be done with their furniture setup because of the way it's been built. But it's basically this part here, this panel becomes a table, and you poke your hand in the back, undo the clip, you can then slide it out and lift it up like so, pull the leg down and it should clip in, and then slide out this leg, and then you can pull the table in and out, and you've got a nice good sized table to use in the front of the van there. And to put it away, it's just the same but in reverse. You just pop it down, slide it away, and eventually it'll clip back into place. Now the second table is in the sliding door, so what I'll do is I'll bring you in and we'll have a little look at that. So you need to shut your door, and then we've got this little handle here. You pop up and the table just pulls out like so. And now this one doesn't clip in anywhere, but it can be used outside of the van, which is handy. You just want to clip the feet in like so, and then you have a handy little table that can be used inside the van or outside. It's quite a large table too, so it's quite handy. And then slot it in that way, push it away, and your table is secured in the side door. Now, like I said before, the Jerba comes with two tables too, and one is stored just in the back here, and we have the table leg for it just in here. So you just want to pop out your table leg, and then there's a couple of clips to do on this one, and I'll just turn around and do it properly. Save me embarrassing myself. Just like so, pop it up and out, and you'll see we've got the tabletop here, so it slots into this rail here. You can then lock it in place, and then you'll take your table leg and slot it into the bottom of the table like so, and then you've got a nice long table which you can slide in towards you, push it away from you, give you a nice table for two people in the back here. In the front we've got this smaller table which is perfect for the passenger, and you've also got a bit of space just here for the driver too to use. But this table's just a nice neat little size, and it does flip away and sits neat into the back of your seat when you're in the driving position. So it's quite easy to store, and it's quite useful to fold into the back, and it is completely removable, so you can take it out and store it in your garage if you'd like to. Now the large table does come with a Tripod Pro, which is a tripod foot for it, so you clip it onto the bottom of the table, and it means that you can use this table outside of your van. You can use it outdoors anywhere, so very handy. Tables in the Sanna are much the same. You've got the same table which sits here, which comes over the passenger side of the van, and we've also got this one which just clips into the side here. We just pop it out, and again we've got our table leg which slots into the bottom there, and that will just clip into the rail. You can lock it in place, and then you've got a nice little table for both people to sit comfortably and have a meal or play a game, do that kind of thing. The next thing we'll talk about are the appliances, and in the California you only get what the California comes from, so there are no choices for appliances. You only get gas, and you get quite a neat little double gas burner here with a little sparker, and you've also got quite a nice little cold water sink here with this little removable piece too. So don't get me wrong, it is very nice, but you are limited in the sense because this is the only option that you get with the California. It does have a glass top on it, which is quite good. It's quite nice and hard wearing. You would feel comfortable using it as a chopping board or using it as a surface. It's quite a neat, sturdy little glass top. And behind that, you have the top access fridge or cool box, and it is quite deep. It does get nice and cold. So it's quite a good fridge, and it is top access, which means you can access it when you're asleep in bed, or if you've got anything stored in the front of your bed here, you're always going to have access to the fridge. The only issue with it being a top loading fridge is that you have to take everything out if you want to get to the thing that's at the bottom of the fridge. So there are pros and cons to it, but again, it does look very neat. It does mean, because you've got this big fridge here, that the only storage you get in this part of the camper van are these two cabinets, and if you did have the toilet in here too, you would only have this one cabinet. So it does use up a lot of storage space, but at the same time, it's also quite neat. Much like everything in camper vans, it's all about what your requirements are. You have to compromise here or there, so it's all about figuring out what you want and what means the most to you. And that's why it's so handy for us at Jerba, because we are a bespoke camper van builder, so we can chop and change certain elements of the camper van to best suit your needs. So this one only comes with a gas stove, but we can fit a diesel stove in any of our vans too, or we can fit pretty much any option that's out there on the market. We can chop and change them. If you've got one that you like the particular look of, or the way it works, or how it is, chances are we'll be able to source it and we'll be able to fit it into one of our camper vans. So we'll go see what the equivalent looks like in the Cromarty now. So in this van, you'll see that we've got this lovely wooden worktop, and the customer has spec'd this van with this sink, which is a can sink. So it's a nice deep sink. This is a cold water one. It could be cold and hot water if you had the hot water heater installed, but this one doesn't. And it comes with this nice little chopping board which sits on top, quite nifty. And then we've also got the Wallace diesel hob and night heater. So what this big stainless steel silver unit does is it opens up and you've got this nice glass hot plate. It's plumbed directly into the diesel tank in the vehicle itself. So as long as you've got diesel in your van, you know that you can cook in your van and you can provide hot blown air heating to keep your van nice and warm if it gets cold. And because the Wallace has a hot side and a cold side, you have really good temperature control, and we also have a little thermostatic control on the front for the night heater, and also a sort of 1 to 6 for the hob too. So you do have a really good range of heat that you can produce when you're cooking. Now, I mentioned this is a night heater. If you close the lid, you can engage the child lock if you like. What you can do is press a button and it will activate a fan, and it will start to blow hot air out the front of the unit like a night heater. It'll heat your van comfortably all night, keep the ambient temperature of your van at a nice warm level. It can get pretty toasty too if you like it extra warm, but it acts like a night heater. Now, I mentioned before that there are options, so you don't need to have a diesel hob like the Wallace. You could have a 2-burner gas hob, or you could have a 3-burner gas hob. You could have a bigger sink, you could have a deeper sink. All these things are options, so we can fit exactly what you would like in your camper van. So the bespoke element is really something that's worth considering. But this setup has been very popular this year, and for good reason. It looks amazing and it does work really, really well. Now, just a point on night heaters. In this van, we've got the Wallace acting as a night heater. But if you had gas and you didn't have the Wallace, we would then fit a Webasto night heater. It's the same night heater that Volkswagen fit in the California. So they both have the exact same Webasto airtop heating unit, and ours will blow hot air out from underneath the front seats. And it's really, really good night heater, really efficient. It works off diesel, so similar to the Wallace. If you've got diesel in your diesel tank, you've got fuel for the night heater to work, so it will keep your van nice and warm. Now, we fit a bigger, sort of more traditional looking fridge in our camper vans, and you can see it here. These are from Vitrifrigo and they're absolutely fantastic. It works like a traditional fridge, so you can put your milk in, you can put your beers in, you can put your drinks in, you can store your food, and they also have a really handy little freezer box on the top there, so you can get your ice cubes frozen, or you can just put things in that you want to freeze and use at a later date. And they're really, really efficient. If you've got a solar panel on the roof, it's going to provide enough charge to trickle down into your batteries and keep your appliances running for as long as you need them to. But really nice little fridge units. And again, the bed doesn't come as far as the fridge, so you've always got access to the fridge this way. They're also almost silent when they run. Both fridges are. They're made for camper vans, and you can run them all night. You'll get a good night's sleep. You won't hear them. They're excellent bits of kit. So in terms of finishes, we use a lightweight willow plywood on ours. It's made specifically for furniture cabinet creation. It's absolutely fantastic, nice and lightweight. The California uses an aluminium sheeting. We use this because we cut it all in-house, we scribe it all to each van, so every single cut is made to fit the van perfectly, and it allows us to do the bespoke element. The aluminium style California unit is sort of pre-made in one piece and then bolted into the van as such. So there is no bespoke element to it. But because we do it our way, it means that we can offer a range of finishes. So you'll see that this one is driftwood. It's completely different from the grey that was in the van that I was in previously, but it basically gives us a level of control, and it gives us a bunch of options to offer you. So you can basically create your dream camper van, and you can make it the colours that you want. You can choose the colour of your flooring, you can choose the colour of your cabinetry, you can choose the colour of your worktop, you can choose what appliances you're going to have in your worktop, and all in all you can really personalise your camper van to make it your own camper van. So the last thing worth talking about is really the quality of finish, and we take great pride in doing everything here by hand, and we make sure everything is scribed perfectly to your van, and we also make sure there's no bare metal, and we want it to be finished to as high a standard as possible. So we put this nice carpet trim on the entire van, so if you go into any cupboard, you'll see that all of the carpentry that's been done is perfect, and you'll also see it butts up perfectly to this carpet trim on the back wall, so it all looks really neat and it all looks consistent. It looks like it's been built properly. Now, the California finish is nice and it is a fantastic camper van, don't get me wrong, but when you look closer it is more of an industrial finish. Because the cabinetry is assembled and built in one piece then put into the van, there's no finishing in the backs of the vans, so you can see all these aluminium strips, you can see the rivets, there's quite a bit of plastic here and there. So in my opinion, it doesn't have that same attention to detail, that same quality of build. I'm not in any way saying that the California is bad, I'm just recognising that they've both been built in different ways, and it does show in the end result. And you'll notice things like gaps around the furniture from occasion. They're not horrendous, but for me as a converter, they are things that I notice and they're things that I think is worth pointing out. The California doesn't use curtains, it uses blinds, and in the Cali you get an absolute no-nonsense set of blinds. They're quite simple to use. You just pull them down, they clip into place like so, and they're pretty good, they don't let any light in. We've got that all the way around the van. They're quite industrial looking, which is to quite a lot of people's tastes, but yeah, they do work really well, but they are another shade of grey, and there is a little bit of a 50 Shades of Grey vibe going on in here. I personally don't mind that, but you might want to inject a little bit of colour into your van and make it a bit more of a vibrant place to be. Now, at Jerba, we use curtains in all of our vans, and we use them all the way around the entire van. And the great thing about curtains is not only do they have a really thick blackout lining on them so they don't let any light in at all, but you also have all of the choices on the Tiree's Fabric website. And these ones have a really nice camper van design on them, and to be honest, they go really, really well in a camper van for obvious reasons. But Tiree's have loads of different designs, so you can really customize, personalize your van to your style, to your taste. And they're really, really simple to use. They just tie back into their corners. You then slide them along the rail that's hidden at the back here. And our curtains have these poppers on the ends, so they pop along and clip into their respective little clip. And you can popper them on along the pillars too, so they're a nice tight seal around the window, so there's no light can come and the light can get out. And another added benefit, and the thing that I like most about the curtains, is that it just adds a soft touch to your van. It makes it nice and homely and just makes it a nice warm place to be. And if you've got some nice colourful curtains, it can just add a sort of touch of colour, a bit of vibrance to your camper van. And like I said, they're nice and dark, so you're guaranteed to get a great night's sleep. So definitely check out the Tiree's Fabrics website and see what kind of curtain material you would like in your camper van. Now, other things worth noting are your water and your hookup point. Now in the California, they basically cut a hole in the van and they stick on these inputs here. And under this back door, if I can just open it up, you've got your 230 volt. So if you're plugging in at a campsite and you want to use any of the 240 volt sockets in the van, you plug in right there. And you've also got your water point here, which seems to be quite leaky. I'm not entirely sure why it's pouring water out, but the water point in the van is here. I'll just put the cap back on. At Jerba, we've opted for a little bit more of a discreet idea, and we basically hide everything in this, what we call hidden corner. So instead of cutting any holes in your van, we basically remove this, put hinges on it, put a catch on it, and then we input everything we need. And you can see here we've got our 230 volt input, and we've also got this one-way valve that's connected up to this input for your water too. So this fills the 37 litre external water tank in your van. And you can put your van on charge, pop the door away just like so. You've got cable coming out the side, and it's a really, really neat way to do it. The California does have an ace up its sleeve, and it is something that is very well liked, and that is in the back tailgate. You undo this zip, it gives you access to these two seats that they fitted in the tailgate, and they're quite simple to use. You just pop them down, pull them out, and then you've got a couple of seats to sit around the table outside, so it makes storing your seating really, really easy. And they slide back in pretty easily too. They zip up. Now, what do you sacrifice by having this on the tailgate? You sacrifice a little bit of furniture space here, so the furniture and the bed has to sit further in, but I personally think they're quite good. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video from Jerba Campervans. I know it's been a long one, but hopefully it's been packed full of value. If you have enjoyed this, let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. The more comments we get, the more likes that we get on these videos, the more our audience grows, so you would really be helping us out if you could do that. If you have got any ideas for any videos like this that we can do, please let us know. We're always happy to go out. We're always happy to reach out to our suppliers or anyone that we can to get products in, or different vans, to do comparisons, to do reviews, really anything that you guys might find valuable. So please let us know in the comments. Hopefully you've enjoyed this one, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.